Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Yasushi Ishikawa, teaching professional Fodan. In this video, I'll be providing the commentary on the third place match of KISHIN Tournament Europe 2025, a game between BuggyDClown, Mr. Edward Panko, who is getting stronger recently, and Gote Bashka02, who is Anton Starikevich. He's one of the strongest players in Europe and the former winner of the European Shogi Championship and also World Open Shogi Championship. So let's take over the game. It seems like Sente is playing Ureshino, but yes, Sente still has the option to play other strategy like this, Elmo. And here, since Sente is aiming for a rapid attack with Elmo, there's no reason not pushing back this pawn. So Sente should have always pushed back this pawn. So this is a clear mistake in the opening. But still, the position is almost equal, but Gote can always get a slight advantage pushing the pawn, the edge pawn. So, and Gote finally pushed the pawn. But it was a little too careful, I think. Gote should have pushed much earlier. This is still equal if Center pushed back, but Gote should have punished Center's opening much earlier, but finally it's he pushed the pawn, so in the same position. And the bishop's position is here now, and this works for the defense well. So maybe Sente could have also started the attack a little earlier, or not the rook here, but just going up the silver here. And if the bishop goes back, like the actual game, Senti can also push the pawn here to attack from the fifth file and advance the silver to the fourth file. I would recommend this. This move is also natural, but not the best, I believe, in this position. Now, Senti should wait a little more and start the attack from the fifth file. Yes, but Gote's silver is active and in a good position, so it's not bad for Gote. So maybe Sente should change how to attack at the opening. These two moves are just the waiting moves, and since Ibisha, the static rook side is Sente, it's a little too passive, I think. Just waiting. Sente just went up the silver, but this kind of move was also possible. Trying to promote and redrop the pawn here. If Gote drops the pawn here, the rook will not be active for a while, so Sente can attack, for example, like this. If the rook can't come to 5-2 to defend the 5 file. So pawn to 3-4 was also possible, I think. So it seems like Sente's boggin is succeeding, but this move is strong, so in this position, Rada Freibisha is getting advantage. If the silver promotes, then it will be the rook exchange. The rook can't escape because the silver will be taken. So this will be the rook exchange, but the silver's position is different. And Goto's castle seems stronger than Sente, so this is bad for Sente. Hmm. So, against the ranging rook Furibisha, the simple Bogin usually doesn't succeed so well. So maybe he should have played differently here. Hmm. Just the rook here is also possible. Hmm. So he should not play differently, I think. It was just too simple. Hmm. And with this time control, maybe Sente knew that Gote is a strong player, so Sente saved time and played rapidly. But mm, I think Sente played a little too quick. Sente should have thought and stopped several moves ago. Mm. Then this position is good for Gote. So Sente should just drop the pawn here, the actual game. But the position is too heavy. Mm. And the rook to 3-8. Then I think the pawn push was also good. Sente can't take the pawn because the rook will promote. And if Sente promote the pawn, the rook can escape here. And the silver should escape like this. And then Gote creates the token. If the silver takes the rook exchange benefits Gote because the silver Sente should protect the silver somehow like this. And then it's Gote's turn. So, for example, just this kind of attack and using the token, the next move will be too strong. This token could also work for the attack, but first Sente should save this silver, so Sente can't play this move, maybe. So just pushing the pawn was also possible. But the actual game got to drop the pawn here. This is also a safe move. Sente promoted the pawn. With the same reason, Gote could have taken this pawn with the pawn, and after the pawn promotion, Gote pushes the pawn here. And this was also possible. And Gote took with the rook, and Sente played differently. Pawn to 3-4. So pawn promotion to pawn to 3-4 is a good move. Is a good technique. Mm. And now, so Gote first sacrifice this pawn, and then uh, move the rook to 4-2. Probably this was also possible. Since allows Gote to create a token, but center rook can escape. Yeah, this was possible, but it seems like Gote is better. Still. And Sente took the pawn, and the rook came back here. And now, the next move wasn't good. Sente should have played a little more patiently from here, since the silver isn't working at all. Just the semi-eye. The actual game only benefits Gote. So from here, it became easier for Gote, just protecting the pawn with the silver and trying to promote the pawn in the next move and redrop the pawn here. It's not easy to defend because if the rook moves, the pawn can promote, and if the pawn push here, then the pawn can promote. So it's not easy to defend. And sacrificing the bishop seems too early. Now it's completely different from the actual game. Sente silver exchanged with the bishop, so this is not bad for Sente. So it was a good move, sacrificing the pawn and then redropping here. But one more move patiently was needed. It's too much heavy. And from here, Gote just played well. Center has no pawn, so. And now Center resigned. So, as a summary, Center couldn't show his ability in this game. Gote just played well. Hmm. And it was important until the middle game. The opening to the middle game was important. Hmm. So, first of all, center should always push the pawn here. So the lance is here, but it's completely different from Managuma. Uh, if center pushes this pawn, the king can escape later at the end game to the edge, and also center can aim for the edge attack. Hmm. And also, if center attacks from the third file, it's better to advance the silver first. And for example, here, set as the option, bringing the rook here or just pushing the pawn here. So in the actual game later, the rook came to 3-8 and came back to 2-8. So Sente lost moves. So it was also not a mistake, but I would recommend this silver. Mm. And from here, Sente started the attack. Mm. It seems natural until here. And now, what Sente should have done is not advancing the silver here and just dropping the pawn here, or before sacrificing the pawn, just bringing the rook here. Mm. And play attack a little slowly, but not giving the chance to do a counter attack for Rote. Mm. So to become a strong player, this kind of position is very important. So since Sente had much time left, Sente should have stopped here and thought many options. So it was a little too simple. And since Gote is a very strong player, he will surely not allow this easy attack and break the second file. Hmm. But this was a good tesuji, good technique. And here, Gote tried somehow to break this fourth file and promote the rook, and Sente should have played this move to protect the pawn. And this attack was too heavy, and from here, got a clear advantage and won the game. So, as a conclusion, Gote played very well in this game, did not play a clear bad move until the end. And probably, I think Sente had experience with a similar position, but Sente still has the room to improve the opening to middle game. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.